Here are 22 DTC e-commerce page designs that you can copy in 2026. So you're already getting visitors for your store. You just need to convert more of them. And you do this by building better pages. So in this video, I'll be breaking down 22 pages from real Shopify DTC brands, companies doing a few $100,000 a year revenue all the way up to multiple 8 figures. Every page I'm going to show you here was designed and built by our team Daydreamers. And I'm going to show you the exact sections we did for these 6 to 8 figure e-commerce brands. And I'll also show you 2 pages from a brand that has done over 500 million in revenue. So I'll break down why these designs work and what you should copy from each one of them so you can improve your own pages immediately. So the main 5 sections we're going to cover is going to be the hero, the buy box, social proof, benefits, and then the mechanism or features. So I'm going to leave this entire doc in the description below. I'll also leave the link to this Figma design as well, where you'll get full access to every design that I show in this video. So let's start with the hero section and we'll go over like 5 main design pro tips for this. And your hero section, if you don't know, this is your above the fold. So this is the first section that someone sees when they land on any sort of page or website. And the reason why this is the number one important section is simply because it's the only section that 100% of your visitors will see. So obviously it's super important to make this dialed in. So the first point is going to be to make your designs or just the content of your page scannable. People decide within 5 seconds if your page is relevant. So you have to make it almost stupid easy to understand. So what your hero needs to communicate instantly, what is this? Like what the product is, this is for me, and what will it do for me? So you want to design for instant comprehension and not complete reading. So a quick little test you can run is just to show someone your hero section, your top fold section, and ask them what the product does. And if they can't tell you what it is, you have to simplify it and be more specific with it. So quick little things you can try, keep your headlines under 15 words, or just be more specific. The length of the headline doesn't really matter. So this is something that you should always be testing, but just be more specific and clear with your messaging. Having one clear image, one trust signal, and one call to action button. Keep it super simple. Here's the first section or hero section that we'll be going over. This from Healthy Soul. We'll see here that we have something super scannable and simple to understand. We have before and after. We have a simple headline, call to action, and sub headline for more clarity. That's pretty much it. You don't have to overcomplicate this and just aim for clarity over something fancy. Number 2 is going to be using your headline to communicate the outcome. And then your sub headline is going to be used for clarification. So your headline should talk about the result that they want, but not what the product is. And you want to be specific in that. So bad headlines examples are like custom engraved rings or all natural sleep supplement, premium hair serum. It doesn't really mean anything. You're saying what it is, but it conveys no value. So better headlines are more outcome focused. Something like, this is more than a ring, it's your story. Finally sleep through the night, see visible hair growth in 90 days. It's more specific and it communicates the outcome, the transformation that you're promising. And again, using headlines just to clarify what the product actually is if your headline is a little unclear. So this example that we have here from Hair Rescue, 100,000 plus men are ditching their hair loss drugs for this topical formula. And you'll see from these 2 examples, just from these 2 quick ones here, the structure of the page is pretty similar, right? We have the social proof up top. We have the headline, sub headline, call to action button. And then on the right-hand side, we have the image. We're at before, but the structure of the page is relatively the same. And the reason for this is because shoppers, consumers are already used to how certain layouts are on a website or a page. So you don't want to distract too much, where you want to keep it simple enough where it's something that they're used to. So one concept is just to like reduce the cognitive load, which just means that you want to reduce the amount of thinking that your shopper needs to use, like as far as like brain power to make a decision. And you want to reduce that as much as possible. Moving on to the third pro tip, our eyes follow patterns. So we want to design for them. So we scan in predictable patterns. So you want to structure your page in exactly how that is. So exactly what I was mentioning before. Left side, we have the headlines, and on the right side, we have the images. And that's because for desktop, our eyes naturally scan from the left side and then top to bottom. It's almost like an F pattern. For mobile, it's almost like a Z pattern. So we start up top to top left, and then we kind of just scan that way. If you can follow my cursor, we kind of scan this way, which is why for mobile, it's stacked vertically, right? And as simple as that. That's why we have the headline up top, the product image in the middle, and then typically we have the CTA button on the bottom. And a quick test you can run is just cover the right half of your page, and can you still understand the offer with just the text? And then on the and also vice versa as well. Here's another example here's one example from Swole Life. This is a pre-workout brand, and the structure of the page or the structure of the section is relatively similar. We have a headline, image, subheadline, call to action button. Super simple. The fourth is going to be your mobile. Is when you're holding your phone, most people use their phones with one hand rather than two. So you want to place your call to action buttons where the thumb naturally rests. And this is a quick little graphic of like what I'm talking about, where you're holding your phone. I'll actually whip up my phone right now. So you're holding your phone here. I'm not sure if you see my screen or to see this. You're naturally holding your phone like this, and our phone naturally rests on the bottom. So we want to design to facilitate that. And you do that by just adding or placing the important actions that you need. So for example, like a button towards the bottom where it's easy to get to. And quick little tips for the call to action button. Keep the height at a minimum 50 pixels, and then try to keep the width full width of the screen or at a minimum 250 pixels. Again, these aren't strict rules. It's just basic guidelines. And then here's an example from Swippy. Same structure though, right? We have the social proof up top, headline, subheadline, call to action button, and then little value props. And then the image is integrated within the bottom half of the page. And then the last tip for the hero section is going to be to always be mindful of your file sizes as well as lazy loading. So as you guys know, or if you didn't, slow pages lose sales. The longer it takes for your page to load, right, the less people are going to be willing to stay on your page. So you want to minimize the time that it takes to load. And you can do that with 5 main things. And the 5 most common issues people have when it comes to this, or that contributes to slow load time, is going to be massive image files. So images that are over like 100, 200 KB, you want to optimize that. So number 2 is instead of using JPEG or PNG files, you can compress it or optimize or convert it to WebP or AVIF files. Those typically maintain the quality of the image while reducing the size of the image. Number 3 is just to minimize the JavaScript or just the CSS. Basically what that means is just to limit everything that you have within your theme or just your page or your site. You want to minimize that. The more that you have to load, the longer it's going to take. And then same with number 4, which is too many font files. Just limit the amount of fonts you use. That's a typical design tip, is you want to stick to 1 to 2 fonts. Ideally, the 1 font is ideal, but 2 fonts you can get away with. You don't want to get to 3 or 4 or 5 plus. It from a design point of view, it's too chaotic, but also from a page loading point of view, there's too many fonts to load. And then number 5 is just not lazy loading. So the things you want to lazy load are going to be everything below the fold. So everything underneath the hero top of fold section. So your images, your content below the fold, your videos, social proof, your chat, the widgets, all that stuff, lazy load that, because we don't need people to see that immediately. The most important thing is the hero section. So we want the hero section to load as fast as possible. So with that, what you should not lazy load is your hero images, your fonts, and your CSS, because these need to load immediately. And here are some examples from Healthy Soul. This is a Black Friday page we did. This is the custom ring page that we mentioned before, another pre-workout brand, and then a women's supplement brand as well. I'll quickly go through these, but as you can see, all like the main structure of the section, the hero section, is relatively the same. Of course, you can get away with different things like centering it more or positioning more in the center and aligning it in the center, which is fine. It's purely up to you as far as like how you want to structure it if you have a reason to. But best practice is just to maintain what people are naturally used to as well, based on how our eyes follow that pattern that I mentioned of the F pattern. But so therefore, we have the text on the left, image on the right. Super simple, straightforward. And for mobile, it's relatively the same. It's all stacked vertically. Headline up top, subheadline, image, call to action button. Headline, subheadline, call to action button. A quick little checklist for you. Make sure the headline focuses on the outcome and the transformation, not the product. We also want to use a subheadline to introduce the product or explain the mechanism. Include social proof above the headline or just anywhere that's visible. Making sure that the product is the most visible aspect of the section. Same with the call to action button. Call to action copy reduces anxiety. That's fine too. And then just like micro copy underneath the CTA, so different value props. So you can see here we have all natural ingredients, 90-day guarantee, made in the USA. Over here we have formulated by a world famous biohacker. Here we have handcrafted in the US, 30-day fit guarantee. Just value props just to communicate more value and reduce the friction of purchasing. And then optimize for mobile. We mentioned that before. And then just ultimately just make the hero section as tight as possible. And that's pretty much it. Again, hero section, the most important thing. So you want to spend as much time here as possible, which is why I talked about headline, which is not really about design, but just making sure that you're really, really, really dialed in with what you're communicating in the first section of the page, because that's the section that all your customers, all your visitors are going to see. So let's move on to the buy box. This is, besides the hero section, or the top of full section, this is the most important section. If you're running a product page, the buy box is probably the hero section. Technically, is above the full section, but this is where the conversion happens. And the goal here is to communicate your offer and get your shoppers, your visitors to convert. And you do this by reducing the cognitive load and make the decision to purchase brainless. So let's go over the first design pro tip for your buy box section. Oh, and real quick, a buy box section is something like this, where we have their images, and then we have like the call to action button. I can show you another one here. Here's another one from Frey. Images on the left, we have image carousel, and then on the right hand side, we have everything that you need to purchase or select your option and all that. Okay, cool. So let's move on to the first pro tip. Number one is product image carousels that sell. And your product images are so important because it's one element, or it's an element that a majority of your shoppers will scroll through. So you want to leverage that screen real estate and provide value. So your product images should answer your questions and kill objections, not just show plain product shots, which most brands do. Quick little framework for product images is something I talk about a lot, because I just think it's like it's a really low hanging fruit that all brands can improve and see immediate conversion uplifts. But the first one is like a hero shot. So just talking about your hero, what your product is. The second one, problem visualization. Third is mechanism reveal. Fourth is results proof, or just showing the results. 5 is just like social proof, collage, whatever. And then 6 is a guarantee risk reversal. You don't need to necessarily follow these frameworks. This is just a basic framework just to help you think about images, just to kind of help you kind of strategize and put those together. And here are 16 different templates that you can kind of steal and use. And they all kind of just fall into one of these 6 categories. I won't spend too much on this. I have a bunch of videos that go deeper into the product images, but here are images from the same brand I mentioned, Frey. So we have the main image here, value here, objection handling here, any before and afters, more value props, social proof there. Play around with different images, but just make sure that you leverage your product images to communicate that value and handle any objections or answer any questions. Pretty much it. Number 2 is going to be making the variance or the option selection as brainless as possible. You don't want to make people think. The more that they have to figure out what option is best for them, and making the whole selection process or decision-making process hard, like that will ultimately reduce conversions because there's more friction. So you want to make the best option obvious and easy to select. We also want to make it easy for them to understand what option is for them. One quick thing that I recommend all brands do, if relevant, is to make subscriptions your default incentivized offer to maximize your LTV. So you want to offer more value when it comes to subscriptions to incentivize people to select that. So most brands use like basic savings, like you save 10%, 15%, which is great. Another thing that you can do is to add more value props, like free shipping, easy to cancel or pause anytime. Again, just to reduce the friction and reduce the barrier of entry. Here's the same example from Frey that I mentioned. We have the product image carousels that we just saw. reviews below that. And then on the right hand side, we have like the headline, product name, and value props, the different options, and then the subscribe versus the one time purchase section as well. Number three is to include trust signals where it's relevant and necessary. So, like I said, doubt or just objections, or people are naturally going to be hesitant to purchase something online. So you want to sprinkle trust signals throughout the buy box or just where the conversion is happening to kill that doubt before it even starts. So when it comes to, like, let's say something like a protein powder, right? A lot of the common objections are going to be like where it's made, the different properties of it, what they can expect out of it, if it's third party or peer review tested. So we want to include and handle those objections where necessary. So, for example, if you can see this page here from Paleo Pro, we've included little trust badges like muscle growth, zero sugar, quick recovery. We've also included stuff like 60-day guarantee, lab tested, clean ingredients, a warranty, third party tested, FDA registered, made in USA. We have multiple guarantees sprinkled throughout the page just to, again, incentivize people to purchase, but more importantly, to reduce the friction. People are naturally hesitant, so you want to appease that natural emotion, that natural feeling that people are going to have before purchasing something online. So limit that as much as possible with trust signals, like different value tags, different things like trust payment, trust badges, value prop tags, stuff like that. I think this buy box design does a great job communicating all that. And we could even go further with stuff like no wheat, all the stuff that people don't want in their protein powder. We're addressing it immediately. So it's visible, people see it, and it handles their objections. And then ultimately leads to one step closer to purchasing. Let's move on to number four, scannable benefits, not using walls of text. And we could even use this example right here. If you see this section from the same example, Paleo Pro, clean and transparent ingredients, it's broken down. We're not showcasing like a block, like a paragraph, walls of text explaining that, because again, it goes back to reducing the friction. No one wants to read that, right? So we want to break it up and make it easy to scan through. Pasture raised protein, zero fillers or fluff, fewer than 5 ingredients. Quick, you can scan through it and you don't have to sit there and work to read through it. You can kind of just glance and skim it and still receive and understand the information that's necessary in order for you to purchase. So again, nobody reads paragraphs, so you want to use check marks, icons, or short bullet points. Here's an example from Hair Rescue, the same example before. You can see here that we've broken up long box of text and made it scannable and simple to skim through. 2 times more effective than finasteride, no sexual side effects, stimulates blood flow. It's easy to scan through, there's no paragraphs, you don't need long descriptive product descriptions because no one's going to read that. You want to make it easy for your shopper to learn about your product. And you do that by breaking up long text walls into something shorter and more scannable. And we also have stuff like, this is for you if you're noticing a receding hairline, so it's all this is scannable too. It's not a long-winded explanation. And then this leads to number 5, which is handling objections with drop downs below the buy box. Again, we're if you're in e-commerce, the name of the game is communicating what your shoppers want as far as solving a problem for them and handling any objections. So people naturally have questions before buying. We've already addressed this. So you want to answer them right where the conversion happens, which is the buy box. So use accordions, tabs, expandable sections, drop downs, whatever the case may be, to provide the information that they're looking for. So naturally, for a hair growth product, you're gonna wonder like if this is right for me, how quick I can see the results, specific ingredients, is it safe to use, how do I use it? These are natural questions that your shoppers are gonna have. So you want to do them a favor by answering those and making that information easily accessible, because they're already thinking about this when they're just when they're deciding to purchase. These questions are naturally going to arise, so you want to answer them and give those answers without them having to search for the answers, because again, that's increasing the friction to purchase. So you want to reduce the friction. Hope all this makes sense. And types of questions you can ask or include are just like, how long does it take to receive results? How do I use this? What's inside? What if I don't love my product? So stuff like a guarantee, risk reversals, free returns, shipping information, stuff like that. If your products are non-toxic, is it safe? Like obviously some of these questions aren't going to be relevant to you. It's case by case, but these are the types of questions that your shopper is going to ask. So you want to reverse engineer those questions, those objections, and provide that information in accordance to that. And here are more, not page example, but more buy box examples. Morning wood, we have different flavors, different quantities, and then the frequency of subscribe or one-time purchase, OTP. And then the same thing as always, right? We have the product image carousels, we have different value props, we have the drop-down accordions for more information, some more risk reversals like free shipping, easy returns. We also have a customer review right here, and then different social proof and all that. Here's one from Cheeky. This is the page that we designed for them. They saw immediate uplifts in their conversion rate. I think like over 20%, like immediately off rip, which is super cool. But as you can see, the structure is pretty much the exact same, guys, right? We have the image carousels on the left, customer review. On the right hand side, we have the product name, which is like more value, more information, value props, subscribe and save, one-time purchase, CTA button, value props, and then the info drop downs. And this is what I was mentioning before of like subscription, just add more value and get them to incentivize them to subscribe versus one-time purchase. Savings, discounts is not enough anymore. You have to offer more value. Free gifts, free ebooks, free shipping, pause or cancel anytime, get access to like your insider exclusive. You could be creative with it, but the whole point is to add more value. Here's an example from RO. This is a note taker product, but again, same deal. Image on the left, buy box on the right, or like just the specific buy box, the CTA button all on the right. And then here's an example from Ancestral Supplements. This is not a typical buy box. This is the buy box for like landing page, for example, but just to showcase different offers. We have buy two, get one free, buy four, get two free, plus two free tallow, buy one. But you can see all the differences of the free bonus gifts attached to it. Obviously, we want people to select the higher ticket item, which is the True Believer package. And that's why we included all these different free gifts, and we incentivizing people to select this product versus, or this option, this offer versus the others. And then here is the pre-workout buy box from the page that we showed before. Same deal though, right? Value props, different flavors, quantity, purchase options. Pretty solid, right? Okay, cool. Here's a quick checklist for buy boxes. First one, image carousels, 5 to 7 images minimum. Include, showcase like the product scale or size reference, show what's included, talk about the benefits, hopefully include lifestyle or results in that to communicate more value. For the variation, this is not absolute, but typically have your subscription defaulted. Use visual cards for bundle options, best value badges, flavors, colors as SKUs, right? Not SKUs. Show the different SKUs as swatches. So basically what swatches is just like showing the different, showing images to communicate the different variants. Let me show. Yeah, so like in this example here, we have the lemon lime, the citrus, mixed berry. You can see the different product types. Trust factors, star ratings, quality badges, guaranteeing your CTA button, free shipping, payment badges visible, all that type of stuff. Scannable benefits, right? Using bullet points. Try to keep it one line max. Again, not absolute. You can use two, but the whole point is just to limit and make it more scannable. Use check marks or icons, no text walls. And then the FAQ, the frequently asked question accordions, just the 5 to 8 most common questions below the buy box, right? And also this is something that's super important. You want to, the most important information or the most important question or piece of value that you want to communicate, open this by default. Leave this open. So see all these different drop downs here. Leave the most important one defaulted to open. We've tested this and we found that converts better just because, again, you're providing the information that they're already seeking. Great. Now let's move on to social proof. Here are 5 tactical design tips for presenting and communicating proof. So you want to use customer proof to sell your product so you don't have to. You want to build trust through proof that real people got real results. Number one is to lead with UGC, which just means user generated content. And basically what that is just is using your customers and letting your customers sell for you. People naturally don't trust you, but they trust other customers because they are similar to the customer. Photos and videos are more convincing than anything that you as the brand can write. So you want to leverage your customers and their results to get more customers. You do this with an easy ways before and afters, side by side transformation. This is best for like supplements, hair growth products, skincare, weight loss, anything that has visible results. So here's an example, or the example from Hair Rescue. We really saw before and afters, and this communicates. These right here communicate more than you ever could. For one, it's visual. Our brains analyze or understand images like visuals, pictures much faster than words. So this right here communicates so much more. And we also, of course, can use words too, like thicker, fuller texture, less dandruff, regrew his widow's peak, something like that. Number two is Instagram style photo grid. What you can show are like customer selfies with the product in use, results close up, lifestyle shots, unboxing. The whole point of this is to just show that real people have bought your product and enjoy your product. And it's as simple as that. Real faces, real customers, real results. Number three, video testimonial carousel. So this is really, really valuable for high ticket products or complex products that require like a demonstration, or something that simply just requires some sort of like story, right? If you have transformational products, people want to hear their life before the product and how your product helped them after. So it's kind of just like a similar before and after, but just videos. Here's an example from Cheeky. And videos tend to, or they're obviously more authentic because it's harder to fake than images, especially with AI. Number four, the last one is just basic testimonial cards. And this is the basic one where we just have written testimonials. We've also went further and included those UGC photo grids as well. Number two, when it comes to social proof, you can also segment reviews with tabs and filters. So different people care about different things. So you want to give them what they're looking for and break down different reviews that matter to them. So in this example from Ancestral Supplements, we've broken it down between taste, value, benefits, ingredients. If someone's worried about the ingredients, they can click on this and see the exact words, reviews from people that are highlighting the ingredients of, wow, like these ingredients are high quality, or they don't have specific ingredients that we don't want, and vice versa, and etc. Whole point is breaking different reviews to facilitate what your customers need. And this is super helpful for brands or products that have a wide demographic. Number three, continuation for number one, is real faces is better than perfect photos. Authentic beats polished, imperfect customer selfies sell better than perfect stock photos. And this probably seemed obvious, right? A typical bad or stock or AI, everything is perfect, it's professional looking, studio, perfect pose. It's almost too perfect to be real. What's good, a good UGC image would have natural lighting, casual clothing, no professional makeup, slight imperfections. This is important. And it just feels authentic, it feels real. And humans naturally can sense if something feels off or feels fake, right? So this is an example from Healthy Soul. We have really saw before and afters, but you can see that the angle that they took of the before and after is the exact same. So there's nothing out of ordinary, or it doesn't seem off. It's super raw, uncut, and just feels real. It feels authentic. Number four is to highlight specific tangible results. So again, this might be less designed, more on messaging. But when it comes to providing social proof, you want to select specific reviews that tell your shoppers, your new shoppers, exactly what to expect. So something like lifelong constipation solved, and finally consistent bowel movement for the first time in 30 plus years. Like, that's insane, right? And this is exactly what this brand's ideal customer profile is looking for. They're constipated and they just want to poop. That's all they're looking for. They want to poop and they can't, and this product can help them. Number five is showing social proof at the moment of doubt. So I'll delete this. People doubt at specific moments, so you want to put proof exactly where doubt appears. So stuff like, does this actually work? You want to use before and after photos or specific results. Will this work for me? You want to showcase reviews from people that are close to them as far as demographic or problem, whatever the case may be. Is it worth the price? Then we include testimonials, reviews about how valuable it is. And should I really buy this? Just final reassurance. So what I was going to show you, what the image that wasn't loading was going to be this page from Luma Nutrition. This is the 9-figure brand. This is a massive brand that's done over 500 million revenue. We recently started working with them, just designing and building out pages, any pages for them. But just to highlight the point of just like showing proof throughout the page, I'm going to show you all the different social proof that we sprinkle throughout the page, right? First, we have the basic review count up top. We have before and after. We have a screenshot from studies. That's social proof in itself because it provides credibility and leveraging these different doctors or scientists or whatever. We also have screenshots from Facebook comments or Instagram comments. This is something, again, that's real, authentic, and people are naturally used to seeing these types of comments on the social media platform. So just simply screenshotting them and putting them on your page is highly effective. I actually recommend, if you guys have access to this, I would highly recommend sprinkling this on throughout your page, right? Throughout your page. And the same deal for Amazon. We have Amazon reviews. We have that photo grid that I showed you before. And we have even more reviews here, written reviews and more customer images. And we'll also embed reviews below that. It's like your basic reviews that you are always accustomed to seeing. But you can see that we've sprinkled social proof throughout the page. And that's what you want to do as well. All right, we are almost done. Let's go into the benefits. And I'm going to go over 3 tactical design tips, pro tips for your benefit sections. Whole point of this is to communicate your product's value. And you want to do this clearly and make it as easy to understand as possible. So with this, you want to use icons and short punchy copy, and avoid the long text walls. We mentioned this before, and this is highly relevant for your benefit section. So because people scan, they don't read. So you want to use your icons that help them process the information faster. Number 2, lead with outcomes, not features. Again, we went over this before, but again, people don't care about what it has. It cares about what your product has that it can do for them, or like what the feature or the benefit has that's going to benefit them. Watching that, but I hope that makes sense, right? So in this example from Rejuve, the constipation product, talking about different problems that their shoppers have, and then your solution of restore smooth complete elimination. Rebuild strength from the inside out. There's more that we're missing, but you gotta get the point, right? We want to lead with the outcome. Number 3 is to use numbers to make it concrete. Vague claims sound made up, so you want to use specific numbers. So something like 100% private, 1,000, 200 minutes per month. That's pretty self-explanatory. And I'm going to show you various examples from other pages. So here's the pre-workout, right? We have one benefit of this product is it's going to replace 10 other supplements because of what's included. So you can get rid of the carb powder, your EAAS, electrolytes, creatine, beta-alanine, taurine, all that stuff you could get rid of because this product has all that. And we're communicating the total savings, or like how valuable this product is because it has everything in this one product that you would typically need 10 other products for. Here's the custom ring example. This is the other pre-workout brand, but you can see that we've broken up what could be a long wall of text, broken up to something that's more scannable. Same deal here. Image, headline, image, subheadlines, image, text, right? It's back, like we're playing around with the different layouts. Same thing here. This is something that's extremely scannable. And also it is easy to read rather than feeling like if you see a long block of text, you just feel anxious. You don't want to read that, right? Like we are trying to avoid work. So if a page has a lot of text, we're not going to read that. And unfortunately, we need our customers to read that because that's how they're going to buy. So we have to do it or help them read our page. And we do that by breaking it up. Okay, let's go over the final one. This is your mechanism and features. So here are 5 tactical design tips to communicate your features. And this is ultimately just to explain how your product works and why it's better without sounding like a textbook. Number one, simplify the how it works with numbered steps. People need to understand your mechanism to trust it works. So you want to break complex processes into 3 to 5 simple visual steps. For cheeky, simple as place your order, take your impressions, and get your custom night guard. I know we have more information there, but it's as simple as that, right? People are not just going to try to figure out how it works or why it works, or whatever the case may be. You need to communicate that, and breaking complex or even just a basic process into something that's stupid simple and as simple to understand as possible. Number two, break down key features or ingredients with why it matters. So you don't want to just list it, but you want to explain what each ingredient does and why it's going to help you reach your goals or reach the desired transformation better. So healthy soul, we are talking about the specific ingredients that we're using in the products. So something we'll go over grass-fed tallow. It's packed with essential fatty acids and all that stuff to moisturize, protect, and mimic your skin's natural barrier. Something like bone marrow to nourish, strengthen, and support skin repair. So we are talking about the feature, but more importantly, we're talking about why it matters and what it's going to do for you. Number three is to use comparison tables to show superiority. You don't want to just say you're better. You want to prove it and show it with side-by-side comparisons to your alternatives or your competitors. So the reason why this works is because it makes differences obvious, where it's scannable. You don't need to read a long paragraph. It's something that's visual. You are leveraging design to communicate information. And all this to position you as the superior choice, handles the why is more expensive or why you objection, and ultimately creates contrast. So you look better next to your competitors. Something as simple as this, right? We're comparing like Optimum Nutrition. I don't know what this brand is here, like bone broth protein, but we're highlighting and framing this product or your product as the best one compared to all the other ones. Number four is to show a what to expect timeline. So you want to set realistic expectations with a visual timeline showing when they'll see specific results at different milestones. And the reason why this works is because it removes uncertainty, right? And answers the objection of how long until it works or like how quick can I get results. It also sets realistic expectations to prevent disappointment and refunds. Also creates anticipation, gives them something to look forward to, and again, reduces refund requests, and ultimately builds trust. So here's an example from Paleo Pro. We have what 3 months can do, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, and onward, and all the different things that they can expect with this, taking this product for 3+ months. Also, another side benefit to doing this, it gives you frame to get them to subscribe and or to buy multiple quantities of the product, because they now are learning that they need to take it for over 3 months. So let's say your serving size only for 1 month, you're teaching your customers that they need to take it for month 2 and 3 and onward to feel all the true benefits of the product. So therefore, getting them to select more, to buy more, and stick with you for a longer period of time. And here's another example from Luma. Basic, the first 90 days, week 1, month 2, and so on and so forth. The last one is to add credibility signals, certifications, testing signs, whatever the case may be. Your claims need proof. So certifications, third-party validation, or just, again, it's more social proof, it's more credibility, more trust, all that. And ultimately, you don't need to follow the word to use. It's more so just like when necessary, just communicate that you know what you're talking about. You have the proof, and you're showcasing your credible source to solve your customers' problems. In the hair rescue example, we have social proof built in. Why 5,000 men switch? You tried this, but it doesn't work. We have a 90-day guarantee. We have thousands of customers. All this, again, just to communicate that trust and the credibility. So yeah, so just to kind of recap everything that we're talking about, I know we said a lot. Ultimately, when it comes to the hero section, just make sure that someone knows what you sell within 5 seconds. Focus on having a headline that's outcome focused, CTA in the thumb zone, right? Lower on the page, fast load time with optimized images, convert to WebP or AVIV, and then just having one clear image. Here's pages here. You can kind of see all those. For the buy box, right, make the selection process easy. Please select the best option. Provide any guarantees and trust badges to reduce friction and incentivize people to take action. The next one, social proof. Use UGC, leverage your customers, right? You want to prioritize real images, real faces. Specific results is better than arbitrary or vague results, and use before and afters if you have them. Next, benefits, right? You want to break down long blocks of text with icons, short bullets, focus on outcomes, add numbers when necessary. Here are more examples. How it works, 3 to 5 simple steps, showcase timeline of results. And then when it comes to handling objections, FAQ, make sure you're using your customer language and answer the fears or handle the fears. So yeah, so quick wins that you can do today: compress your images, change your headline to outcome focused, add 6 customer photos or reviews, like the thing that we show when it comes to like Facebook comments, Amazon reviews or whatever. Just screenshot those, incorporate those into your pages. Move CTA to the bottom, third on mobile, and add a what to expect timeline. And if you want more free resources, just click on this link here, and I will drop in a bunch of resources to your email. But to quickly just run through all of these pages again, because if you got to this part of the video, I would love to just kind of just go through these. I'm just going to scroll through them. You don't have to hear my voice again. I'll just scroll through all of these pages so you can get a clear look at all of them. Those are the 22 page designs that we went over in this video. So hope this helps. I'm going to leave all the links in the description below. If you're looking for new pages to be built, if you're at least a 6-7 figure brand, I would love to work with you. So yeah, so click on the link below to get these free resources, and I'll also link my website that if you would like, we can book a call. You can talk to me directly and see if we can help you out and see if we're aligned there. So appreciate you guys sticking around. Hope this was a valuable video, and I'll see you in the next one. Appreciate it, guys. Peace.